Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone that's present and listening to the Taneytown 2025 comp plan update. Would you please stand, members, for the pledge of the flag?
Flag, United States of America, republic for which it stands.
Let the records reflect the members are here. I know Barry Garner's not here because of some knee surgery, and I haven't heard from Holly. So records reflect that. Minutes for approval for November the 18th, 2025. That was a good meeting we've had. We covered a lot of ground. Comments, or is there a motion to move forward?
I'll move to accept the minutes.
Second.
Discussion?
That's
All
fine.
in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Carried. Thank you. Andrew, we want to lead off with the review of the future land use maps, and want to go from there?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. Just quickly to go over the memo that was provided to you all last week. In speaking with the consultants who are with us today virtually, it seems like there was direction from this body to assign land uses per property. I believe it would be beneficial for the Planning and Zoning Commission to review the land uses, the land use maps provided to discuss grouping properties of a specific land use designation on a future land use map. So if the city decides to undertake a comprehensive rezoning process, the zoning map will be consistent with the future land use map that was adopted by this comprehensive plan. The consultants were nice enough and on short notice to put together several different maps. One of the large maps that's in front of you, as in Bill in front of you, or Mr. Eisenberg, you were right there, is the 2010 comprehensive land use map from the current 2010 master plan. Also in the packet, and that everyone received last week, you have existing land use map and then the future land use map. And as you know, the future land use map, when adopted by the master plan, will set the stage for a comprehensive rezoning if the city wishes to undertake that. So with consistency, the plan being, or the zoning being consistent with the plan, the zoning being consistent, the zoning map being consistent with the land use map. And Eric, if you can hear me.
I can hear you just fine, yep.
If I can share my screen here.
All right, just give me one moment.
I was one quick question though. We had already pointed out a number of areas on the future land use map that were incorrect based upon all of our current zoning. So we may want to look at some of that because it looks like it's still there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've looked at zoning maps later than the 2010 one that's here, and that is consistent with what with not on what's the future land use map.
Okay. Now, did the commission, would you like to, for me to go into this report with proposed land use changes that were submitted within up until yesterday, or would you like to go over and discuss the map in general right now? Totally up to you.
Ready to move right into that.
So we sent a letter out, and this is the response.
No, not yet. That'll.
Okay.
This will that response from the letter will be in January.
Okay. Okay.
This is your report for today from the,
Yes, sir.
let's go over that then.
So right now,
You okay with that,
I'm good.
Bill?
right now,
Okay.
whoop, sorry. There were two property owners, three properties in total, that inquired about changing the land use designation of their property. Number one is the property along Deverne Street. It's, as you can see on my map here, it's right behind the commercial property on Deverne Street. The property owner has requested that the town split the Deverne Street tract, tract A lot approximately in half from a zoning perspective, such that the portion behind lots 1 and 3 on Roth Avenue become residential, and the portion closest to the Long and Foster office remains commercial. As we discussed, citizens of the town would not want a commercial development that would be required to empty into a residential development due to Deverne Street being one way, thus allowing the land behind lots 1 and 3 is most practical from a land development standpoint. That was what the property owner mentioned. There is a location map of the property. This is the proposed future land use map that's in front of you with that property broken in half with a red line. The dark red line on the proposed future land use map excerpt above indicates where the property owner is proposing to split that property. Above the area, above the red line would be residential, below would be commercial.
I guess I'm not sure where we're at, but wouldn't that be general business?
Well, right. I mean, it would be, right, the commercial land use designation, but general business, yes. So just to read this over to you all, since you do not have it in front of you, the dark red line on the proposed future land use map excerpt above indicates where the property owner would like the change in zoning to occur, with the portion of the property below the dark red line being commercial and the portion of the property above being residential. For the zoning designation to be consistent with the future land use map, the commission should consider allowing this property to have a future land use designation of commercial on the portion of the property below the dark line and a future land use designation of medium density residential on the portion of the property above the dark red line. So the draft master plan on page number 93 indicates for medium density residential, detached single-family duplex, attached single-unit row housing, yards and associated areas includes generalized areas with lot sizes of less than 1/2 acre, but at least 1/8 of an acre per the Maryland Department of Planning. Medium density land use consists of 2 to 8 dwelling units per acre. The property area proposed to be medium density residential is scaled to be roughly 0.37 acres, which is between the 0.125 and 0.5 acre threshold mentioned above in that definition. Also, there is another property being proposed to be changed, which is 32.
Let's just
sir.
explore that part first. Questions or what we're doing here or what?
No, because it actually makes a lot of sense, especially with the way that it's laid out with the current roadway. Yep. Because the way that he's got it there, it would make the residential match with the rest of the residential that's set in there.
lines up.
And it all lines up, and that commercial would then have an out right behind the building next to Long and Foster, and would be able to come out that way and not have to go through. I think it's
Well, that is the Long and Foster building, right?
the Long and Foster is the little one.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
there's that other building that I can't remember who's in there.
To the left?
To the left.
For Hildebrand's.
Hildebrandt, yeah.
Okay. But
Hildebrandt.
it would allow that to have a back entrance. I know that's become a bad word with the Taco Bell recently, but would allow it to have a back entrance there on that little road right there, which would then allow it to get out without having to go through any residential areas.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the gray road just to the left of the red line.
That's not a road, is it?
Right here, this is Deverne.
That's
Yeah,
the
but-
Vern, but what's the gray tract
That-
to the left of the red line?
The gray
Is that-
strip.
For this?
Below that, no,
Right below
no.
that.
Yeah,
The gray one.
The gray, right behind,
The
between the
gray.
green and the red.
Oh, that's a,
Right away?
right,
oh, right away.
Okay.
right. That should be, it's either a paper street or a street. I can
Grass right
look
now.
at maps.
Okay, well, that's,
It's grass right now.
Grass right
Okay.
now, so paper street.
Okay, so,
all right, it looks like that's
still,
favorable.
it's still good because there is an access out to
Yeah.
140 from it, so.
Okay,
It could come along as we're looking at it, right side of Long and Foster.
So that gray is right behind that parking lot,
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
And that's just right away? Nobody owns it, or?
Right now, there's a discussion on ownership of the property.
We've heard that before.
I know who mows the grass.
That is, I
There you
think,
go. There you go.
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. With the curbs that make it look like there's gonna be a road there.
That's exactly right.
How about that?
Interesting. Okay.
okay, we're good.
It's like we thought about it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The second one is at 3212 Harney Road. And there's actually two properties with this, both with the same address, but with they're different properties, different owners, but the same ownership group. The property owner emailed the city, and they mentioned, we won't be able to attend the comprehensive plan workshop tomorrow evening, but we wanted to provide the planning commission with a plan showing how we think our property's land use could be changed to benefit both the city and us. As a follow-up to the discussion at the last workshop, CLSI has updated the plans to better show the land use changes. I've attached two plans, option A and option B, for discussion and consideration by the commission detailing the following. Number one, a change of land use to general business for a 5.8 acre area fronting near the corner of Taneytown Pike and Harney Road. Option B proposes a smaller 3.6 acre general business area. And let me skip ahead. This is what they are talking about. This area here for general business in the honeycomb hatching. And then option two would be the smaller area in honeycomb hatching. The applicant mentioned, the property owner mentioned that they would like the larger general business area if they could.
This the gentleman that was here last month?
Might be.
Yeah,
Representative?
Might be.
yeah,
That's what he was talking about.
yeah, this is that property.
Also, number two, a change of land use to general business for a portion of the medium-density residential land located in the western half of the property. This adds to the existing general business land use along Taneytown Pike, increasing the business area from roughly 8 acres to 18.6 acres. And last but not least, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, a change in land use for the remaining 10.5 acres of medium-density residential land to R10,000. They conclude with mentioning, we prefer the larger 5.8 acre area for general business, but we are open to the commission's suggestions. Please let me know if you can provide these plans for discussion at the workshop and whether you think the commission wants or needs more input from us. This is the one property location, and this is the second, which is right off to another smaller property contiguous to that larger parcel. These are the two options. As mentioned, the main difference is this area here would be general business, a larger portion, than option B, which would be a smaller portion. And then, yes.
So currently, the only general business is the bit on the front there.
Correct. Yes.
Bit on the front to the left.
No, actually, currently, the only current existing stuff is the little lots there
The
on
red.
the bottom right.
Where it's showing red is general business.
Left, the left red is proposed. They want to make that bigger on that side. What's going in the green hatch?
General business all along there.
The green hatch, they would
Yeah.
like that to be R10,000, but right now, this is the current land use, or future land use designation as proposed on the map here.
But that's future
I was
land use.
going to say, but the problem is that that's the future land use, and again, you can point between this and see that there's differences.
Right.
So, so it's not really, it's not as accurate to use that map, but,
So I'm a little bit confused here. So I would like to know what is current? What is the current? Is that what's shown on the
current should be
Taneytown?
what's on the 210 or the
the
2010.
That is
2010 plan?
correct.
210
Yes.
So what's shown in red there, plus all the gray, is essentially general business. Current.
That should be, I just need to go back and look at that 2010 map.
Yeah. I mean, it's a strip all the way across.
Yeah, it basically, it's the frontage of
Yeah.
140. And
Trying to make the zoning the same as land use,
Well,
or are we trying to spot zone?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, if you don't mind, let me just go through the final part of this. So the property owner is proposing, so the two proposed options for general business at the southeast corner of their property. Option A proposes the 5.8 acre plus or minus with a future land use designation of general business. And option B proposes a 3.6 acre plus or minus area with a future land use designation of general business. The second change that they would like to make is option A is proposing 10.5 acres plus or minus zoned R10,000, which would correspond to a future land use designation of low density residential. Option B is proposing 12.8 acres plus or minus zoned R10,000, which would correspond to a future land use designation of low density residential development. Since the draft plan mentions low density residential, detached single-family duplex dwelling units, yards, and associated areas includes generalized areas with lot sizes of less than 5 acres, but at least 1/2 acre. Per the Maryland Department of Planning, low-density land use consists of 0.2 to 2 dwelling units per acre. Taneytown zoning code considers the R10,000 district to be low density despite its density being approximately 3 to 4 dwelling units per acre. Now, just to get into a little bit more detail, when I was researching this today of why I don't think this second option is needed. So just to jump down to this paragraph. So after review of the Maryland Department of Planning's 2018 statewide land use classification definitions in the 2024 edition, and the land use designations in the draft Taneytown Comprehensive Plan on pages 92 to 93, it appears that all applicable definitions are consistent except for low-density residential. This definition, as mentioned above, includes the line, Taneytown zoning code considers the R10,000 district to be low density despite its density being approximately 3 to 4 dwelling units per acre. Reviewing the intent in the zoning code of the R7500, R10,000, R20,000, and R40,000 zoning districts, it mentions that, or the intent starts off by mentioning, the purpose of this district is to provide for low-density residential district. So, the commission should note that density calculations would allow the medium-density residential future land use designation to have 2 to 8 dwelling units per acre, which means changing the medium-density residential future land use designation to a land use designation of low-density residential to accompany a density for R10,000 would not be required. R10,000 would generally be 4 dwelling units per acre, since an acre is 43,560 square feet. The Planning Commission may wish to discuss this in more detail. And lastly, jumping back up, the 18.6 acre plus or minus area proposed with a future land use designation of general business in the western portion of the property is not proposed to change and are the same in both options. These are the two maps that were provided by the person proposing these changes. So really the main difference between the two is general business on the southeastern side of the property, and that's the difference between the two. But both of them still show
Increased general business onto the left there.
correct. But I don't think this change here would be warranted, that medium-density residential would accommodate the type of zoning that they would be looking for. And
Okay, so
sorry, I know that was a lot, but
What's the goal? What are we aiming for with this? And like, I mean, because because my first thought is, how does anyone get into the medium density housing area? Is that meant to hook up with Sewell's Farm whenever Sewell's Farm happens, or what?
I'm not sure of the specifics. Wonderful question. Not sure of the specifics, but with this process, getting the process started, because if the city decides to look at a comprehensive rezoning, we have to make sure that the proposed zoning changes on the proposed zoning map would line up with the adopted land use map when the comprehensive plan is adopted. So the consistency, the zoning has to match the land use.
Okay. The, I think. But yeah, my only, I mean, generally, I'm inclined to, people will say they want to do this with their land. Okay, cool. Have a good time. If you want to get it rezoned to this, it'll match. We'll be all right. Okay, cool. But with both versions, moving that section to the right, adding that section to the right to the general business, what does that do to that little chunk in the middle of your residential? Like, how does that actually pan out? I don't want to classify us into a hole.
Harry, you're talking about between the two honeycombs, that.
Correct.
That piece in between.
Correct. The
What's gonna
bit with
happen
the
to
stripes
that?
instead of the honeycombs. Yeah.
Great, general business.
Your concern or is what's gonna happen to that, or what?
Well, the way that it looks.
It's a fair question. I mean,
Yeah, the way that it looks is we're cutting off the residential bit in the middle, and it's going to be flanked by general business commercial. Which, I mean, in general is okay, but how are you getting to that? Are they planning to use? I got burnt the last time. How about that little gray strip in the middle of the gray blocks? Is that an actual road, or am I making that up? So. But but in general, that's my main concern. Now, if there's another like idea of, oh yeah, we're going to connect, this is going to connect into Sewell's, it's going to be this, okay, then as long as everybody's talking and everybody's kind of on board with that, I don't see any real issue. Excuse me.
yeah, it is kind of curious. I mean, if he would have said, I'd like to make it all general business, then we would all said, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's
All general business where?
Everything it's yellow there.
everything. Yeah, just make it from honeycomb to honeycomb, general business. Get rid of the stripey in the
Yeah,
middle.
where he has the proposed R10,000 there.
And yeah, so yeah, exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, it's just, why is that in the middle? And, I mean,
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm
well,
just.
I mean, I think we
I'm
need
just-
to understand.
Yeah, I just kind of would like to know what the what the thought pattern is, because there is probably a very logical thought pattern to exactly what they're thinking for this.
See, down there below the honeycomb on the right, it says medium-density residential too. So that's even a smaller
Oh, yeah.
little plot.
So the stripe is how many acres? What's striped?
10 acres.
10.8.
And that's what he wants to make residential.
Correct.
So why would we want to put the residential within that area?
That's the question.
Why would he want to put residential in that area?
I think, like I said, I think we would just, if we could get a little bit of the thought pattern of what they're thinking for this, because there's obviously an idea.
Well, what would the city would like to see in there? A residential or general business? As that whole area coming off of Harney Road to the left being general business.
Well, but isn't it residential there on the left on Harney?
Currently,
If
yeah.
you scoot over just a little bit. Yeah, that's.
They're in front, yes,
Yeah,
in
the
front.
the frontage on Harney is already residential. So that, like I said, I'm curious what the thought pattern is. And if there's a thought pattern that makes sense, I'm not automatically opposed.
10 acres is a lot of acreage for general business in one chunk. Where residential would, like say, would fit in behind the other houses on Harney Road. And like, kind of like a buffer. Single homes to whatever would go into 10 acres.
But we're still,
I know, but you still got the honeycombs.
yeah, we're sandwiched in between. in that
Yeah,
section
because
of area now.
even with option B, with the smaller side,
Yeah, what's the other one?
if you
Show
go
that one.
down,
So I can see especially with this one here, it makes more sense to me. You would have the general business, and then you'd have your apartment buildings, and I know it says R10,000, but you would have housing in the middle, and they would better walk to whatever businesses that were there.
And what would be to the left of the honeycombs?
which honeycombs?
To the left.
To the left of the residential. If
That would be
That's
business
all
again.
general
that
business
would
right
be
there.
general business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the red is currently general business, right?
So that would fit
Yeah.
in.
That seems like it would fit in a little bit better, but I still have the same access question.
Sure.
Even with this, which, I mean, but yeah, I would like to see, I mean, it doesn't need to be as formal as a concept plan approval. I would just like to see, okay, obviously you've got an idea. Don't give us the details because we don't want it right now, but what's the thought process of this? How is this going to get accessed? And
Hold that right there. In that 10 acres, how many housing units could we get in 10 acres? Who's got to
per
figure it out?
10,000, it's 4, so,
Four per acre.
so yeah, 4 per acre. So you're talking 40, but that's now 12 acres in this version.
And that would depend on if.
So that's
the
now
density, too.
44, 48. Math not good.
Well, if it stays R10,000, it's 4 times
Okay,
an
so
acre.
you
Yeah.
would have 40.
You'd have 40 on Plan A and 48 on Plan B.
So basically, that would require one access in, because we're not
Right.
at the
You
50
would,
point.
you would only need one access in according to that.
Okay.
But
But then
it's
again,
it's
the
not going to
time-
come in the
time-
front.
The time they would want to come before us, they may want to put in high density in there, and that would change everything then.
Yeah. But there's no access except from Sewell's property, the way it looks.
It does look like there is access from 140 and.
Where?
Right down here.
But it would be, I mean, they could build access there, but they'd be cutting out their general business area into their general business area to do it.
We'd have concern there, because that's too close to the Harney Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to eliminate issues.
The last thing we want is to have an access.
Right.
in that area,
Is that, yeah, coming in there.
town, that wouldn't.
So on down next to the Alexandra property, old property, of John Alexander, that was
Yeah.
just annexed in.
Yep.
Is there room there for an access coming into that
Further,
It's right,
fuller out Harney Road?
it's right where that road is there, Andrew.
Right there, you see where
Yeah.
it broke? The gray,
Is there supposed to be a road along the back there? Is that
well,
kind
that's
of like
supposed to go
what
down,
people have thought in the past?
Sewell, right?
Driveway now.
well,
Okay.
past Souls, but it's supposed to go back to Garnett. Because that's the emergency exit out of Garnett.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we talked about
So,
that.
so that could be feasible there.
Yeah.
That would be a lot better because it's away from
Yeah.
Yes,
140 and
Yes.
that interchange right at the beginning.
we keep it under 40 homes. So, where does that put us? What, by him giving us those options,
Well,
or by asking, or
They would like your thoughts.
well, so what he's asking is for this to be put on the future land use map.
That is correct.
In option A or option B?
Yeah,
Exactly.
based on that there, I think we're pretty good with the residential being the striped.
If we're making the access be the back of that property up to the top off of Harney,
That's not our call at this point.
No, but I think with this makes it more sense than that first one.
Right, this is B, right? Option B?
Yeah,
what
this
we're
is
looking
B.
Yeah.
at?
That
And-
is,
and-
you are correct.
And it would be something to talk about with them if, really, the only way that I could see is off that access road off the back. Because we don't want anything as a city coming
Andrew,
off
could I
of
see the
140.
other option real quick? Hey, Andrew,
Yes,
could I
sir.
see that real quick?
Oops, sorry, wrong way. And Jim is bringing up the copy, so
Oh, okay.
you all should have copies of this shortly.
You had the key? Yeah, see?
The mayor's here, he should have a key.
Yeah, it's gonna say. Wherever the printer is. So, I think we all agree that that section where it's sandwiched in between the general business, I mean, we can have, talk about that access coming off the back, but we're still got that area.
well, I was gonna say we'd have to look at the little nubbin there.
What?
The little guy here, the little tiny stripe above the
Yeah,
red.
yeah.
Is that not his? That might be the problem.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think that's gonna be enough land to do a medium density anything on by itself. So I would imagine if it was me, that little strip will get subsumed into the general business area.
Talking about the two little strips to the right in front.
Well, if it was that
If it's
option,
option A, I would say that little strip is gonna get subsumed into the general business area. If it's option B, then it's
Still
fine. No, it's fine, because it connects up with no problem.
Okay, yeah.
But we want to keep that as general business. All along 140.
right.
I
But
just-
what he's
I-
saying, this little block in
Oh,
here.
and that little, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider that little
So,
block.
so when, if this is all, general business, then that little place in there is kind of like cut off from the rest of the. Doesn't really make sense, but I think
So why
Gary's
would
right.
he-
It probably doesn't belong to him. It's probably not his property.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
but I also can't imagine, you've got those general business plots along 140. I can't imagine it getting split up like that, especially if, so that may be an artifact of either zoning or future land use that didn't match up with property.
know if it's that close. There's Harney Road. Might be the sunroom, that might be, Kaiser's. Kaiser's general business, right? The sunrooms, is that
Oh, at the beginning there, before you get into the trucking place and then the building there?
first one's Kaiser, the second one is where that dump truck business is behind.
Right.
Well, the dump truck one is in the city. Central Maryland Sunrooms is not in the city, I believe.
Right. The sunrooms,
How'd that happen?
they don't want to be in.
Yeah, I guess the properties that needed to hook up to water and sewer maybe came in.
Eventually, we will Borg them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. For anyone who's listening, I'm kidding.
Is that the old raft?
It was old, it was a service station.
So how many of those is in the city?
Central Maryland Sunrooms is out, and the last rancher on the west is out of the city. The other ones are
The elderly person that was in here last week.
in. Is, I think, that last
That's
house
the
that's
last
not
rancher.
He's one
in
at number
the city
17?
limits.
Saying 16?
No,
It would be the one that's on red at
Red,
the west
17.
end on the screen.
okay.
17.
Next to the honeycomb, red kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So what is our goal here, Andrew?
To get your thoughts with the,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
to get your thoughts about what the two people proposing the land use changes are proposing. Number one, it sounds like, and please, I do not want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like for the first proposal, the one on Deverne Street, you are all in agreement with those changes.
I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
we're solid on that one, I think.
And then for 3212 Harney Road, you're still sort of debating what to do with residential due to access. Really, when I look at this, and as seen in the staff report, it really only looks like there's and this is on page 3, right under where it starts on 2. It only looks like there's really 1 and 2 would be the requests, because the third one, like I mentioned, that should be taken care of. They should be able to meet the R10,000 zone, still keeping that same density of medium density residential, but it's really changing land use to general business, whether the 5.8 acres or the smaller 3.6 acres, and then having that larger general business change from medium-density residential onto the western half of the property, which has that pine cone. Both have the pine cone shape. That pine cone shape is what they want to change to be general business. So to get your thoughts on that.
So to me, I'm sorry. Is that okay?
Couldn't-
Yeah. So to me, the second option is what I would be leaning towards,
It's B,
but
right?
Yeah.
B, option B, yes.
Option B,
Option B, but that's based on what I know now, which is not very much.
Option B then makes that general business, what you're saying, right? The left.
Yeah.
And then the center of the stripes.
Well, the other one's option B.
Option B has the smaller general business land use designation to the east by Harney Road.
Close to the Harney Road.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
So that would make the most sense to me, only because the way the residential is grouped together. But again, we have no idea what his thoughts or plans were, so it'd be interesting to know if he has a plan.
So what changes? What are we changing? What are we?
Adding the general business honeycomb to the future use.
It sort of sounds like the commission right now would be leaning, and please correct me if I'm wrong, do not want to put words in your mouths, but would it be to have the larger, on the western part of the property, allow that to be general business, and then on the eastern part of the property, have the smaller general business option? Am I
So-
correct?
It's here, right here.
So I would say it like this, we have option A and option B, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my thought, it's not a recommendation, but my thought is, we're thinking option B would be reasonable to change the future land use map to show that.
Yes, that's correct.
What I was trying to get to.
But I don't know if that's a recommendation or not, because I don't know what they're thinking.
I can relay that information to the person who inquired.
And to me, the biggest reason that I'm leaning that way is because on option A, there's a small portion of residential that appears to be cut off from everything else. So that's,
Okay.
Jim, did you have a comment you wanted to jump in?
Just, I think that,
Hear your
well,
thoughts.
well, I don't know the specific plan for these different layouts. In previous conversations, you know, it has been mentioned that there's little current appetite for additional residential annexation in the city right now. I think politically, with the recent annexation of the Sewell Farm and all that acreage as residential, there's not a lot of interest from the mayor and council to annex more residential property. So that may have, you know, factored into the idea to seek a larger portion of commercial on this site, because I think they are, you know, we know they are interested in annexing to the city. And it may be that the feeling is it will be more palatable for the mayor and council and commission to bring in more of a commercial area and a smaller residential area.
so I guess my thoughts are right across the street, we have this development that put us on the map of, in the state of Maryland. So why don't you do the same thing over there on that 12 acres?
You're talking Taneytown Crossing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was so fabulous according to a lot of people, so.
So that would still fit in the same
It would
category.
fit in there, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it would fit
The
in.
residential.
And that's not a decision that needs to be made, but that is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
open air type thing. So, if you're good with that,
You're leaning towards option B.
Yes.
B, and that's,
Just
I
a-
have the right one here marked, right? Business, general business, residential?
Yes.
Okay.
Another note on there, if the commission favors the idea of, you know, a development similar to Taneytown Crossing there, I think in our earlier conversation, we were saying density residential equated to R10 and R75, right? So we would want this to be medium density.
Correct.
Okay,
So that, so the, that would not change because,
Okay.
yeah.
good, okay.
And I'm not saying I'm in favor of it, I'm just saying across the street, a lot of people were happy about that.
Worked.
Worked, and
We will relay the messages. And,
what do we need to pass on to Errol for this?
well, nothing right now, but what, we can, I guess right now with passing on to Arrow would be the change in land, the future land use with the Deverne Street property. And then we can discuss zoning, the land use designation changes with the person who inquired. And we can get back to them to see if they're okay with what is being proposed. And if so, then we can get with Arrow and have them change it.
Yeah, because on here, the future land use doesn't capture the existing future land use of the front of that space being general business.
And if I may, that is what I think we all should talk about now, is having the future land use map the way that, get it to final. So when the comprehensive plan is adopted or recommended for adoption by you all to the legislative body, the mayor and council, this will be correct.
Well, I think part of it is we need to, there needs to be a cross-referencing between the existing zoning and the future land use. Because we're missing a chunk. Just starting on the west, coming in on 140. Just looking at, like, going back and forth between the comp plan 2010 map, and I've seen another zoning map since then that actually that reflects most of this as well. But I would recommend looking at the zoning map that's on the website just to make sure that that's the most updated thing. But that property off to the right there is zone general business up through about the front half of it. So that would, on future use, that would be general business.
I think one thing that would help a lot would be to have the same key on all the maps, same legend.
Agree.
But yeah, so I'm just like I said, I'm looking through these, and we've got some changes in here that aren't necessarily reflected in what's actually in our stuff right now, and zoning and such. So that, I think that would be the first step, is to bring the future land use up to the existing zoning that's on these properties. And that way we could, that way we've at least got the basis to start from.
So just to maybe, I hope to help clarify, when we use the term existing land use, that may not be what's on the land use map in the existing comprehensive plan. So the existing land use is what's on the ground today. So you'll see, for example, a lot of agricultural use within the growth area, but on the land use map.
I'm talking existing zoning map as opposed to existing use map.
So there's also a proposed land use map in the 2010 plan. So I think that what we really want to compare is the proposed 2010 land use map to our map that we're working on now, so that we have more of a, here's what the current plan calls for, and here's what we're looking to change, rather than actual existing land use.
Well, but the thing that I noticed when I was doing the research on it was that a lot of our zoning map matches the 2010 proposed map.
The vast majority of it does, as it should, because we did a comprehensive rezoning following the 2010 land use, following the 2010 comprehensive plan. So the comprehensive rezoning basically put zoning in place that, with a couple exceptions, matched the proposed land use maps of the comp plan.
Yeah.
There were a couple changes after the public hearing, and we didn't go back and modify the land use maps, but before the comprehensive rezoning map was adopted, there were a couple small changes from what was originally proposed.
Well, but basically where I'm getting is that's a lot shorter list.
Yeah, yes.
Because we can sit here and go back and forth on the future land use map until 11 o'clock tonight.
I don't understand why we have so many maps. What we have now should be one map, and what we might want to be one day is another map. That's it.
So, Commission Member Myers, so we have the one map in front of you, the 2010 land use map. That's the current land use map from the currently adopted master plan back in 2010. The existing land use map, this is showing what is currently on the ground today. So when you look, if you were to fly over Taneytown in a helicopter, this is what you would see. And then this, the future land use map, is where do we want to be? So then when this plan is adopted, the zoning map, so if the city decides to, the zoning map would correspond to this map, be consistent with it.
These are the only two maps we need right now.
We shouldn't even be considering the comp plan 2010 map.
That's
Well,
just
but
reference. That's just reference.
Right.
History, that's past.
But no, but what it's referencing is that our zoning basically, so we would go off of the zoning that we have now to get the future up to where we've already planned for it to go,
You make it too confusing. This is what we got. This is where we want to go.
except it's not.
Well, then that's
You're
not-
saying
then
what,
it's-
this is not
if
what
this
we
is
have?
No,
not-
the future is not,
That's what we're working
Yeah.
What we're
on.
working on, right.
So the
Okay.
first thing is, this is what we got.
yes,
Everybody agree, that's what we got.
yes,
The existing.
that's
Okay.
existing.
So then, what do we want to change? That's it. So if, all you want to do is tell us what you want to change on this
Future
one.
land use map.
I'm saying the future land use map isn't accurate for us to tell what needs to be changed yet.
Well, then, look at this map and tell us what you want us to change.
It's,
I think, Harry, I think I get where you're trying to go. So we want to take basically the land uses from the 2010 plan, and for those that don't match the current zoning map, we want to update them to reflect the zoning that's in place right now for those
Yes.
properties that have changed since 2010.
yes.
And then we can use that sort of as
That's
our
the
base
baseline
map,
we should be going off of for what our future land use should be.
and then talk about which parcels may be appropriate to have
Yeah,
different land
because
use
that becomes
designations
a much
after
shorter
that.
list.
That should be on existing,
No, should be on, because existing is existing right now.
okay?
But just as an example, Hoffman's Farm is zoned front half commercial, back half residential, but you can also do agriculture on it. So current use, it's agriculture. It is zoned, and our future plans are front half commercial, back half residential. That's the, and then, like I said, if you look at the plot of land that we were dealing with just now, out on the west side, that doesn't have the existing zoning of commercial on the front of it that's already there. So what I am saying is, before we go down the road of what do we want to change on the future map, we need to make it up, we need to get it to the current zoning so that we know what we're doing.
I agree.
I'm more than happy to point out changes later. I'm just saying right now, we don't have an accurate future use map to point out changes on.
Because we don't have a current map.
Because we have not taken the current zoning and put it onto the
Existing.
future.
Yeah,
On the existing
we
one,
don't-
so we know what to change.
This is not right, is what you're saying.
What one you looking at, Dan?
The existing land use. You're
No,
saying that's not right.
that's probably pretty close to right, although I can't vouch for it.
Well, it doesn't have two different colors here.
That's because that's currently other land use,
I
because
think
it's
I can,
agriculture.
I think I can give you an example, and Harry, correct me if I'm wrong, but.
Help us, Jim.
On what was the future land use from the 2010 plan, where Bollinger Park is.
Okay.
In the comp plan, that was intended to be low-density residential. That would equate to like an R20, R40, but it was low density. So since 2010, the city acquired the additional 40 acres, and we annexed the area, and we zoned it as open space. So it's now in the city, zoned as open space, but in the 2010 land use, it's showing as residential. So I think where Harry's going is we should take that land use and bring it up to current,
The current zoning
Current-
plan.
right? Or at least so the land use matches what's in the zoning map.
Yeah, the future land use map should match our current zoning map to start, before we start messing with it.
So we should take, we should make Bollinger Park open space.
Make Bollinger
We
Park,
should make
make
the
Bollinger
area that
Park
we-
open space. Get the commercial on the front of that plot off to the west. Get commercial on the front of Hoffman. There's a chunk.
But if we're gonna make Bollinger Park open space, isn't that the current situation?
It's gonna be current and future.
So shouldn't where we need to start is with the current situation?
Well, I think
You mean the
you're
existing.
going back and forth between existing is what's on the ground now, so there's going to be a lot of ag, but in the land use map, when we talk about the future land use, that's what it would become if and when it came into the city.
Tracking.
So,
And I can't vouch for the existing land use. I just know I found a crap ton of future land use issues. So that's why I'm on the future land use map,
I'm
is
just-
because I can
yeah.
see the issues sitting there.
I
I'm
think,
just saying, we
I
can't
think we
really
could
talk-
go through the exercise of identifying on the 2010 future land use map, those parcels that don't accurately reflect the current land use / zoning for those properties that have since been annexed. So we have Bollinger Park, we have the city acquired acreage off Stumptown Road that was intended to be medium-density residential, and that will now be a park use instead. Obviously, the recently annexed property on Harney Road, now that may have already been, that probably was already residential, but, you know, we'll check that. There's still going to be, I guess, one or two areas that, I guess the other areas that I'm aware of are in the land use map, the restricted general business district was, at least a portion of that, I think, was going to be changed to general business or high-intensity commercial use. And on the zoning map, that did not get updated. So I think we have that where there's a difference just because the zoning map was amended before it was passed during part of the comprehensive rezoning. And then, of course, the property that's sort of surrounded on three sides by the downtown business district towards FP Duffy that was supposed to be urban mix. We never adopted an urban mix zoning category for it. So that's one that the zoning is industrial, but the land use, the future land use said urban mix, but then we never adopted a zoning code for that. But we can make all those updates to reflect to better match the current zoning map and put the appropriate land use that ties into that zoning.
So is that our next process, and then for you guys to put the map together, bring us up to speed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do have a question about the land use. So before we had discussed, because we had land use where, you know, maybe part of a parcel was open space, maybe part was commercial or residential or something, and the decision was made to go by parcel. So whatever the dominant use was became the whole parcel for the land use. However, as Harry has noted, there's a few instances in the western half where there are parcels that are supposed to be partially commercial because they are right now, but because of the way we had to change it to be the dominant land use, they are not shown commercial. So I'm not sure, maybe Liam can talk a little bit more about how we can, ways that we can show that, because I'm not sure, if we're going by parcel, we can't show that.
It does sound like you guys want to update the system, switch it back to being closer to the zoning or that previous future land use. I think I'm getting what everyone's describing, and basically you want a product that you can draw on and that there's a couple of parcels you want to change, but you currently feel there's too many things to change on the existing, well, I shouldn't say existing, the future land use you have in front of you currently. So that's something that's pretty easy to update. I would just need the townships or the city staff to provide a list of those parcels that would be different. from the zoning or the old future land use map.
So,
If we have something like that, then we can mark it.
yeah, so for me,
Changes.
what I still want to start with a map of what we have today. That's it. I have to have that first before I can even consider what a future change is going to be. Because I don't know what I'm changing to or from,
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
so.
Yeah, before we, and it's gonna kind of be together at the same time, but.
That's fine as long
but
as you
yeah.
tell me that this one is right.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
Then we can go from there.
yep,
By that, then we can create this.
Absolutely.
yeah, and then we can go ahead and doodle to our heart's content on, future land use. And say, I'd like this one to be,
So Andrew, is that something you can put together for these guys?
Yes,
They can present it to us?
yes.
So where did that get us for tonight? And
motion
hope in the
to,
right direction.
motion to adjourn.
No, I mean, we accomplished.
But
And
Yeah,
if I may, that's why we wanted to get this discussion started, so we can get a final product that when this plan, this land use map is adopted, then if the city wishes to have a comprehensive zoning update with consistency, that consistency doctrine, the zoning would match the land use that was adopted in the master plan. So thank you.
I think part of the discussion, though, between the parcel versus zoning chunk, is because I don't think doing it by parcel doesn't take into account the future subdivision of lots that is expected. So I think that's where we're running into the impasse, and I apologize if we sent you down a wrong road, making everything the same thing on each parcel.
Oh, I mean, it's part of the process, you know, we tried it and now we're seeing maybe it's not the right way to go. So, you know, that's completely fine. We can change it back and make it more accurate and make it work for what you want the future land use map to look like.
Can we also just make sure we all agree on what low density, medium density, high density means? So I think, did we just say medium was 7,000, 10,000, both? Or if we can just agree on what, or that can be in the key or whatever, because I don't really know what medium density is, but I know I have a definition for R 10,000.
Sure, we do, in the plan, we do have a couple places where we, both at the beginning and then later on in the background information, we do have little blurbs that call out, you know, this is, R 10,000 is equivalent to medium density and.
Yeah,
et
that
cetera.
is in there.
That-
I
that
saw
would-
that.
Can we do it on the ledger? Can you put
Yeah.
that here on the ledger on the
On the
map?
key?
So it's-
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
I think Drew's memo touches on that as well, so.
And if I may, when I compared Maryland Department of Planning's 2018 statewide land use classification and what is being proposed in the the proposed master plan, it looks like, just from a rough calculation, so very low density residential would be R 40,000, low density residential would be R 20,000, medium density residential would be R 6,000, and then high density residential R 6,000. And I took the multipliers that were the highest density and
Whoever's
I did
75
for the
and
medium and
10,000.
high. Because that would be the acreage, the feet per acre, 43,560 divided by that multiplier. So let's say at the most eight dwelling units. So 43,560 divided by 8 gives you, let's say, 5,445 square feet, which would be more dense than our 6,000, but that's the zoning district. That would be the smallest in the city, or the most dense.
So did you say, is the medium density, that's 7,500 and 10,000?
Medium density would be looks like R6,000. But low density would be R20,000 and very low density would be R40,000 generally.
So we don't have a 75 or 100 or a.
We do.
Was medium,
So which one does that fit
two
in?
to 8 units.
Yes, 2 to 8 dwelling units per acre is medium density residential, and that's how the state classified that land use designation.
That would
The
be,
7,500 then?
So 7,500 and 10,000, where do they fit in?
Low density. I don't know.
It's in the book, so that's why I'm not like super worried about it.
I mean, I don't want to go through the book to look at each one. If it's on the ledger here,
No, I get that. I'm just saying that in general, to look at it
I'll
between
look
now
at
and
the
then, I know they have everything listed.
I'll look in a book.
all right,
But they're gonna update it with that information on that ledger.
on the ledger, right.
Yeah, we'll make sure to have that all listed out for you.
Okay,
That'd be cool.
that'd be great.
So did we accomplish something?
Yeah,
Good,
we've got a path
Good.
forward.
good. Good. All right. Continue to next item. Was that all you had for us, or was there more?
That is all I have. Let me go back to the agenda.
I think we kind of rolled a lot of things into,
Yeah, I mean,
into
there's no
one
way,
agenda
no,
item.
I mean, I thought we were having the public hearing around in January, but that's not happening now, right?
The meeting in January is supposed to be for the growth area.
That's the next meeting on the 20th?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The growth area, okay.
Is it possible for us to get a copy of the letter that was sent to the citizens?
Yes, sir.
Be great. Thank you.
Okay.
No, sir.
Gentlemen from the floor, anyone from the floor would like to come forward and make any comments for our meeting, please do so at this time. Please come and
You gotta
state your
come up to the
name.
mic, please.
State your name and your address,
I'm
please.
Steve Leonard at 5554 Taneytown Pike, right across from the Venue Bouchon restaurant. And we're like the first house coming from Emmitsburg. Starts the housing, the red house there. I just wanted to leave my name and number and say we want to be included in the new sewer and water, if that is possible.
Okay, I'm not sure if you're at the right meeting for that,
But Andrew's probably the right person for you.
but if you can pass it on to city.
I think we spoke.
Yep,
Yeah.
and you said come in,
Yep.
I guess I came the wrong night.
All is good. All is good. Absolutely. Thank you.
I don't know, I don't need to paperwork, if I do, I will, but if you said 10 years from now, it's gonna be.
Right, from that, your water sewer service area classification. I think it was long range? I can't remember what it was off the top of my
I
head.
suspect long range. for
Long
that.
range.
Well, you have our,
Yes. Yes, no, I do.
so I don't need to stay
Up to you.
out the door at 3:30 this morning, so.
If you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, I'll keep in touch with you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Beauty.
And thanks for attending.
Thanks, man.
I have anything else? Would the mayor have anything to say? Thank,
Mayor's done.
mayor's done for the day. Enough. All right, so Emily or anyone, you guys have any comments?
No, we will get those changes to you, those map changes to you, ready to review. I think that also, depending on what happens at the January 20th meeting with the growth area, there might potentially be some additional changes to the future land use map. But everything else in the plan, we have made those comments that we had at the last meeting. Everything has been updated. So we're going to wait to give you the final draft until this land use, future land use is fully buttoned up. But once that's it, we're ready to review our final one and about ready to go.
All right, thank you.
I have one question. So when we get the the next draft, so we're getting close to being final. Is there an opportunity that where we're gonna send it to the public, or is that's gonna happen?
Yes.
Yep, no, you're good. There's a whole process. Maryland Department of Planning will be reviewing it. The county will be looking at it.
Okay.
Then it will go for a public hearing before the mayor and council.
Okay.
3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever we stamp it, then it's another 3 or 4 months
Yeah,
to
3 to 4 months.
to get
Yeah.
through.
All right, anything else? Okay. Everyone has a happy holidays and safe one.
You as well?
Yes, you too.
All right.
With that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion?
Bill, second by Harry. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, nay. Carried. Thank you, and everybody have a good evening.